I'm tired, and I don't know how many times a day I say this. I'm sure my husband is tired of hearing it, and I'm tired of being tired, and I'm tired of him being tired of hearing it, even though he would never tell me that. But I'm tired of being tired, of saying I'm tired, of feeling tired. I'm just tired. Welcome to What the Poop, the podcast where we flesh out the realities of living with ulcerative colitis. I'm your host, Teri Holland, and after more than 3 decades of navigating the ups and downs of ulcerative colitis, I'm here to share my experiences, insights, and a little bit of humor to help you through your journey. In this podcast, we are dishing the scoop on what it really means to live with ulcerative colitis. We'll share stories, tips, and the latest info to help you navigate your journey. Whether you're newly diagnosed or you've been battling UC for years, this is your space to find community, laugh at the absurdities, and learn from others who get it. No topic is off limits, and no question is too awkward. So if you're ready to break the silence and take control over your ulcerative colitis, join me on What the Poop, because living with UC doesn't have to be a solo journey. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts, and let's face this together. I haven't recorded this podcast for a few weeks, and I mentioned that in the last episode, which was all about IBS and colitis and the differences, the similarities and the differences. And I mentioned that I'd been away for a bit and that I would tell you in this episode. So here I am. Let's talk about it. I've been away because I've been tired. I wish I could say I was on a glorious vacation somewhere, or I was so busy loving life that I just forgot to record an episode. But the reality is that I've been tired, sleeping a lot. And this is often for me, this is the worst part of the disease. I know we talk a lot about the bowel issues and the pain and all of that, but for me, just the exhaustion is often the worst part. I mean, I work from home. I could deal with the bathroom stuff, although that's pretty awful, but I could deal with it, because I'm at home all day. I don't have to go into a job. I feel very grateful for that. But the fatigue is crippling some days where it becomes really difficult to run my business because I'm so exhausted. I think what sometimes frustrates me the most is that people don't understand the exhaustion of this disease. I'll tell people that I can't go out with them because I'm exhausted. And they'll go, "Again? You're still tired?" Yep. Yep. I'm still tired. And they'll go, "Wow, maybe you should get some blood work done if you're that tired all the time." And I go, "Yeah, I've had plenty of blood work. I have ulcerative colitis. That's just the reality of the disease." And even when I'm not actively in a flare up, I find that my energy can get quite low because there's still inflammation in my body and I'm just prone to higher levels of inflammation. I think I've just come to accept that my body doesn't run the way other people's bodies do. And that this disease is kind of a barometer for me of recognizing what's important, what's not important, and making sure that I don't overextend myself because my body will tell me very quickly if I'm doing too much. Even when I don't think I'm doing too much, even when I think that I should be able to handle all the things that I want to do, my body is quick to respond and say, back it up there, girl. We're not doing that today. And I get exhausted. Recently, I decided to step away from my Toastmasters club that I've been involved with, and I've been a Toastmaster for about 10 years off and on. The off parts are usually because of ulcerative colitis. And I find for me, the toughest times are in the evenings. I get so exhausted by the end of my day that often by 4, 5 o'clock, I have nothing left in me. And the idea of going to a meeting that doesn't begin until 7:30 and staying there till 9:30 is unfathomable. I'm often in bed by 7, 8 at the latest. And while I might not be asleep right away, I'm definitely asleep by 9 o'clock. I have learned that with this disease, I have to prioritize sleep to be okay, to be able to function, to be able to run my business. I have to prioritize sleep. Now, in some ways, I feel kind of grateful for that because I know a lot of people who don't have this illness, who don't prioritize their sleep, and maybe they don't have any kind of illness or disease. And so they burn the candle at both ends and they end up burning out horribly and suffering for it. So, in that sense, I feel grateful that my body tells me very quickly, you need to sleep and you need to sleep now. Sometimes I think that when I tell people that I'm tired or I'm exhausted, they think it's the kind of exhaustion that they feel after a long day of work, but they can still push through and go do something in the evening. For me, there is no pushing through. When it's time to sleep, my body shuts down. I often nap during the day. Lately, because I've been feeling so fatigued, I've been napping pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day. And when it's time to take that nap, there is no choice. And I think when people hear me say that, sometimes they think, oh, sure, Teri. They think, well, you work at home and your bedroom's right down the hall. So it's just too tempting. But the truth is that I can be sitting here at my desk and it becomes painful to stay awake. Have you ever felt that way where your body is giving you such strong cues to go to sleep that you cannot function anymore? And it really becomes painful to be awake. I feel like I can't think straight anymore. My eyes get really heavy. It becomes hard to keep them open. And all I can do is think about getting down the hall, lying in my bed, and closing my eyes. And sometimes that nap is 20 minutes and I feel like I can get up and I can continue my day. And sometimes that nap is 2 to 3 hours. I'm grateful I have the kind of business that's flexible. And I'm very careful not to overload myself with so many appointments during the day that I cannot take time for a nap. When things get really bad, I will intentionally carve out breaks during the day where I can nap if I need it. Or if I don't need it that day, I can keep working on something that I want to work on. So that's where I've been these last few weeks is I've just been so exhausted that it's been enough for me just to take care of my clients during the day and run my business. And doing anything extra has just been too much. And I also know that when I back out of things like with Toastmasters, where I let them know I was taking a break, I can feel the disapproval of people. You know that feeling when you tell them something and you can hear their eyes rolling through the phone, or you can read their eye roll through their text message. And people just don't get it. And I guess that's okay that they don't get it because it's not our job to make them get it. I just wish that they might take a little more time to understand. And I also think that sometimes people, they have the best intentions when they say, oh, you're still tired all the time. Because maybe they are trying to understand and they're just not there yet. Or maybe that's their way of showing empathy that they're surprised that this condition actually is chronic. That we don't always look sick or sound sick, but we do have restrictions and limitations. I used to think of those limitations as being a really bad thing. And to be honest, I still have days where I do think of that. But now I try as much as I can to be grateful for this illness because it keeps me in check. It keeps my priorities really clear for me. When I know I only have a very little amount of energy through my day, I'm going to expend it on the most important things. I'm going to prioritize taking care of my clients. Well, taking care of me, number one, taking care of my clients, making sure my husband and my dogs have my attention and that I have quality time with them. That is it. And, maybe I leave some time for things that I just enjoy, like I leave some time for reading a book or for watching a show that I really like before I'm too tired in the evening to be able to enjoy it. So if you are exhausted, I feel you. And if the people in your life don't understand how exhausted you are, well, I feel that too. And just know that you are not alone. because I also take comfort in knowing that I am not alone and that many of you are out there listening. And you know exactly what I mean when I say I'm tired. Thank you so much for being here. And I will be back again soon with another episode of What the Poop. Bye for now, friends.